My name is Janet Mayfield, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer and Chief Financial Officer for the National Tropical Botanical Garden, a nonprofit organization that was chartered by Congress back in 1964 as a source for conservation, education, and scientific research related to tropical botany. And we do a lot of education in the community, but we also do a lot of scientific research outside the community and worldwide in tropical botany.
I'm Kala doing the KAYI camp, and this is Survivor camp. And right here, right now, we are waiting for more students to come in. This is ranging around the ages of 10 to 12, going down into the valley and kind of teach them about the natures of how to catch fish, how to prepare imu, and how to build forts and how to survive the land.
Oh, I'm taking up leader. I've been doing it for, I didn't do it this past year, but I did it 2 years prior to this, and I love it, and they called me back, and I just love teaching the kids about their, like all the native plants and stuff, teaching them all this kind of stuff, yeah.
It's been great.
And you're so smart, you do that, yeah.
Every day we have different Hawaiian values based on either to help take care of the land or to help take care of each other.
How are you going to spend cooking safe?
Within this program they do project-based learning, so PBL. Every day we have different words. Today we're gonna help each other, so that's we're kokuing one another. We're gonna go around and we're gonna ask who needs help. If they don't need help, then explain to them that there might be others who want help, so offer the help to them. And yesterday's word was malama, and malama was to take care of one another. Now today we're going to help one another.
It's fun. We work with a lot of native plants, and I like working with them and taking care of them.
I caught at least one tadpole and a couple of fishes. Let me show you. No,
It's a great thing that we can teach them all this kind of plants in the garden, and the many uses that they have, and how important it is to save the native species and like eradicating all the invasives. And so they're generally interested, and they always want to help out the land and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Wait, stop. Oh, you want me to catch the pond?
Today's value is kokua, which means helping each other. So I guess we're helping each other try to catch fish.
Slimy at the back. Like, it's moving. It's like slimy at the back. Don't let him go. I'm gentle. What is that? What is that? One frog. This one's soon to be frog.
Is it the 16-year-old one?
My name is Mahealani Yamashita, and I am the president coordinator for the Kokua Aina Youth Initiative program. And what I do is I work with specifically at-risk students I try and get them encouraged to pursue career pathways by being engaged in learning about the environment. The garden says you want.
She's the bomb. I can tell you that much. She's like very uplifting, I guess the word is, and she can like push you to your even further than what you can already take yourself to. So working with her is like a real pleasure.
Well, what I do is I work in partnerships with other organizations on island, some that include benefiting the students with mental health issues, behavior issues, as well as high schools. Specifically, our biggest pool came from Waimea High School this year, and I was fortunate enough to work with a cohesive staff with the special ed department, counselors, and an administrator there that assisted me with helping to find the youth that would fit ideally for working with the Kokua Aina Youth Initiative program this year.
Nahea's awesome.
Yeah, she's the one that really helped us get into this because we actually couldn't come to a lot of the earlier stuff and the orientation. So she was really instrumental in, helping us get into this program.
Trash. That'd be like the best trash ever.
Okay, so we're gonna go pile in the den and I'm gonna go take them down. Logistically, this year we found it qualitative by focusing on the west side students.
Actually, I was gonna like lay across Levi and DJ.
It's working great. I think for me to be more focused on an area, a community, it was very beneficial in the sense that I was able to get to know the kids on a one-on-one basis.
We go to different sections of the garden and work with native plants every day and take care of the land.
Get to know their family network. Get to know how they were in their natural surroundings in school time. It allowed me to become more sensitive and more responsive to their needs individually when they came to the gardens.
Yeah, you can. I don't know. I still try to help them out, how to work, try to help them how to take care plants and clean everything what the gardener can do in this garden. I've been working here 11.5 years. I have 5 kids of my own, and they're all grown up. Yes, it's no problem working with the young people because I have experience with that. Yeah, and I know how to deal with them. It's no problem to me. Okay.
We come Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
3 times a week.
Cleared off already. You already did it, so you're not in the count because you did that by yourself last week. So 1, 2, 3. I can pick randomly. All right, it's you. Come.
Yeah, we work in the greenhouse, so we're mostly just organizing plants, and sometimes we do a bit of transplanting.
There's already a bucket of beach water mixed up on the ground, like under this little table. So
The nozzle is on already, so you guys can just take those off, put them over here.
We do a lot of cleaning too. That's pretty essential in the greenhouses.
Okay.
I'm sterilizing this table. Just every now and then the algae grows so much and it becomes, it can kind of mess up these little irrigation systems. So we've got to scrub those to make sure all the water gets to the plants properly. Well, it's definitely giving us something, worthwhile to do this summer instead of, just hanging around doing nothing. And plus we get paid for it too, and that's always nice to have a little extra money over the summer.
You could put this stuff on resumes and look good for college. Just in cinder and whatever appropriate size pot, okay?
Well, our school started this junior restoration club, and the main part of that was coming over here on the weekends and helping out with whatever they needed, weeding and just talking about the plants and the history of the plants and their cultural, influences in Hawaiian culture. And that's how we started going here on every Saturday. And then they sent around an email, looking for interns this summer, and we got on that email list, so that's how we heard about it. Ashley is really great. She's so knowledgeable, and she always knows what to do that'll get us interested.
I'm the nursery manager at the garden, so I'm in charge of the greenhouse, the shade house, and all the outside area, maintaining the structures, the plants, all the propagation from seedings to cuttings, things that are field collected as well as stuff we have in storage. Propagating native plants mostly for the garden for outplantings, things for possible sale or use in flower beds and things around the visitor center and areas like that. So a whole assortment of things.
It's a ohialehu flower. It's those flowers that have all the red kind of like pointy things, and like the legend is like if you pick the flower it starts raining because the tree, like they turned into the tree because it, like the two people were in love and they didn't want to be separated. So when you pick the flower they cry because they're apart. So small.
So we work with quite a few volunteers. We've got quite a number of interns, and they're all split up. Some of them are working at the greenhouse, some of them work in other areas.
It sort of depends on the situation. You have to adjust it depending on the group of kids and what they're receptive to, but it's fun to kind of mix it up between getting actual work done and sort of teaching them something at the same time. So it depends on what needs to get done on any given day that they're here, but to try to get them involved in as many different aspects of the nursery as possible, so that they can kind of get a taste of what it takes to run a greenhouse.
Awesome!
Yes,
it's really awesome. Right.
I think it is a privilege. It's a privilege to be here.
Yes.
And to help conserve all of this.
Because God knows what would happen if we lost it.
Yep.
Actually, it's a privilege to be here.
Yeah. I have 2 cups stuck together.
I just showed them how to transplant seedlings and water them in. And they also did some transplanting of larger plants for me, so we talked about loosening the root ball and kind of giving them more room to grow. Just basic horticulture.
All of the staff are instrumental in working with the kids. We want them to share their knowledge with the kids.
We're transplanting the bunches of plants so it could make more, and then it's gonna get more bunched and you can split it into more.
While they're doing that, what they don't really get is that they're really learning how to be responsible stewards of the land. We could tell them that all day long, but actually getting to get their hands dirty and plant plants that are native to Hawaii and propagate those and care for them, that's a way bigger message than us standing up and talking about it.
Enjoyed having the kids, so it was great. This was a really fun project, and I hope they can come again. So.
I don't know, she don't forgot that one. When they do their spread, they say it connects me back to like my culture because the Hawaiian, like our ancestors used to do this, and like nowadays you don't do it.
So today's activity, we have two different programs, and we have kids from all over the island that have never met each other, and so this is a really great opportunity to bring the island, the kids from Kauai together, learning some common things, networking, making new friendships, learning about the plants on Kauai, and just having a fun time together. You know, with it being summertime, we wanted to get the kids together, we wanted to give them interesting activities to do during the daytime, and something that's educational as well. You know, it's a greater appreciation for where I live, the natural beauty. I have a lot of fun watching the kids get to know each other, hearing them laugh together as they're planting, hearing them making connections, developing friendships. Also just taking an interest, you know, learning about the plants, asking questions, realizing what's right out in their backyard and how special things are. There was one gal today who found a plant when we were down at the beach who said she's been looking for that. And so she was so excited, and she actually called her grandma on the phone to say, I found it, I found it. And then we were able to tell her where it grows. Well, hey, you can find it, you know, over here or in this area. So she gained some knowledge. Just, you know, it's a real practical example of, by coming today, she got to see what was right in her own backyard.
I think that this is a really important resource, the garden, to the island and to the kids here, and a lot of people don't know about it. A lot of kids don't ever come here, maybe like a tour in elementary school or something, but anytime where they can come in and actually work alongside staff and get to see what we do and get their hands dirty a little bit. It gives them some more ownership in the garden, which is a big part of the island, and more of an idea of what's going on and maybe what they could do later in life, whether it be working with plants or not. Yeah, it's nice to have kids in here. I have right now, for the summer, I have 6 girls coming 3 days a week, 8 hours a day through the KAYI program, and they're wonderful. I'm really excited about having them and hope that we can do it again next summer.
For NTBG, it's huge. Number one, we want to be responsible community members. So NTBG has a responsibility to the community and therefore a responsibility to our youth. We want the garden to be here in perpetuity, and therefore we want the children that are of these islands to understand that, to cherish it, to help educate other peers, their support group. And really, it's also about just seeing them do some of the things that they do in the garden. They come to it with fresh eyes, so it's a nice mix.
So think about it, Kauai, remember I mentioned koa, which is a more well-known tree, is a higher elevation, gets to be really tall. Koa probably even grew right in the valleys up above here. And when they grow in deep valleys, they have to compete for the sunlight, so they grew straight up. And those are the kind of trees that they like to make canoes out of and stuff because the trunks are straight. Kauai'as tend to grow in drier habitat, a little bit lower elevation. They don't get to be as big as Ko can get to be 100 feet tall. Kauai'a is about 30. They're thicker, they're more gnarly, and they have a denser wood. And unfortunately, on the east and west sides of the islands where Kauai'a used to grow is where they ended up clearing the forest for pineapple and sugarcane and that sort of thing. So there's very little Kauai'a forest left on this island because of that.
Putting the plants inside this gallon bucket and the fertilizer to help the plants grow.
But there still is around Hanalei and the trail out to Kalaheo, the Napali Coast Trail. There's Kauai'a forest there, and even right above here, above Kalaheo, there's Kauai'a. Mount Kahili, below Kahili, there's Kauai'a forest there. So it still grows. It's just not as common as it once was.
I'm potting these plants that were in here, and we're potting them in this new container.
I am planting, or I am picking out these potted plants from here, and I'm transporting them into this big 1-gallon pot.
Today we're working with the students that are participating in the Kamehameha Scholars Program. We're potting up 2 kinds of native Hawaiian plants that we're growing for the Arbor Day program that we participate in. The Kauai Landscape Industry Council gives plants and trees away for Arbor Day every November, and we grow a percentage of them, and we always do native plants as much as possible to get more native plants into the community. A lot of folks that are born and raised in Hawaii don't know what native plants are necessarily. They're just not taught. And a lot of folks have the misconception that things like plumerias are native or mango or whatever it may be. So we're trying to educate by providing the plants, providing plants that are easy to grow, that are common, that would have grown in the lowlands around Kauai anyway. And to show folks that native plants, they are adapted to our environment, so they will grow back in the areas that people are living. A lot of people think that those that do know native plants think that they only can be found in Kokua and at high elevations, but I mean, let's face it, the whole island was covered in native forest at one time. So we grow the native plants that will thrive in the lowland habitats and encourage people to grow more of them. Most common job we have in our garden, weeding. This is a native cotton, ma'o. It's not considered rare, but it does no longer exist on Kauai. There are spots where it still grows on Oahu, Molokai, Maui. I don't know if it grows on the Big Island at all. Koho'olawe still has a big patch of it, so it's really dry forest tolerant. It's coastal, it grows near the ocean in really dry areas. We planted it on Lehua Island, and the ones that are over there are doing really well. So pull them apart, get in there. It's all grassy weeds mostly. Just get as much of the weeds out as you can. I'll bring a bag to put the trash. We can deliver it.
This summer internship, we've had the Kokua Aina interns working in all levels of the organization, not just in horticulture, but also we have one in publications. One that is actually at our front desk today, helping us out with some of the office work. We've had Kokua Aina interns helping with our keiki camp. And what I know about the ones that are mentoring with some of our gardeners, the gardeners love that. You asked about benefits to NTBG. That's huge. It's a huge morale boost for our gardeners to be able to share what they know and teach that to one of the youth. It's just over the top, and I always see them beaming when they talk about who's mentoring with them and what a success story they have. So it's a win-win for everybody concerned.
What ang going to be doing today is I'm going to teach you how to make kalaheo, which is, do you know what a kalaheo is? For hula? What is it? The sticks, yeah. La'au is Hawaiian word for wood, so kalaheo. Now there are many different styles of kalaheo. This is the kalaheo, and normally it would be a pear that they would use for hula. And the reason why I'm teaching the children this is to give them a little bit of knowledge of how to make their own hula implements. This way they don't have to go to the stores to buy it, they can make it on their own, and to perpetuate their Hawaiian culture. And normally, when you make your own, you have to find your own, because you have to find the one that's going to fit your hand. So, now come grab one that's going to fit your hand. We're going to be making two. So, normally when you do kalaheo, you need 2 sticks. So you can actually, some of these are long enough that I can make 3. So we're just going to measure it. I'm going to go the scientific method of that marshmallow. Just mark 1 at the beginning. Okay, where's your mark? Well, the kalaheo is, when they're used for hula, it's actually an accompaniment. A lot of times when you watch Mary Marna, you see the hula dancers, they do what they call a hula noho, or sitting hula. Now, a lot of times if you're dancing solo and use a kalaheo, you use a smaller one. And in some of them, if you look in the pictures, they're tapered at the end. Now, as I mentioned, this style, the reason why it's this length is that when my daughter teaches the hula, if she's holding one on here, then we're doing this and hitting back and forth. If it's too short, you're going to bang each other. Is this yours?
Well, we use it for hula, I guess. People go that, yeah.
So who has all the kalaheos? Great. But when you get the bark off, you just like this. And then anything else that you leave that's left on is you can't take off. I do have a knife on me.
Kokua Aina Youth Initiative was something that came out of a program that was a statewide program called Youth Matters. And it's evolved over the years. It was a group that tried to solve the problems that we see youth in Hawaii having. And some of that has to do with family, some of it has to do with education, but all of it was designed to help youth reach their full potential. And one of the ways that we do that is with the Kokua Aina program is to really teach them responsibility. We use the garden as a backdrop for that, but it's really about showing up, suiting up, being prepared to take ownership of their lives, to complete tasks, everything from, showing up to work to wearing the right clothes to, being responsible, and hopefully giving them the tools to go on to school or to a job or whatever their future might hold for them.
After you're done, we're gonna treat for weeds. Naturally.
I'm gonna keep them down here.
This is a lula.
No,
Artemis. No, I thought that one was Artemis.
This is a lula. That's Artemis.
Playing with kittens.
You know, this job is so tough.
It's so stressful, you know.